Hey guys, Billy Davidson here with Davidson Pressure Washing Painting right here in Hammond, Louisiana. Hope y'all are having a great weekend such as we are. I wanted to talk to you a little about a couple things this afternoon. One of them is, as you see in the title, 10 things you you don't want to do at a customer's house. Some of these are quite hilarious. You might want to stay to the end. It's like a top 10 type thing. But before we get started with that, I wanted to welcome to the channel. I've had some new subscribers here lately, and we're happy to have them come in. And one of them was one of the guys that I talked to last couple of days ago was a commercial fisherman up there in the northern part of the world, and he was describing to me some of the stuff, sort of kind of like The Deadliest Catch that I used to be addicted to watching that. I don't even know if it still comes on or not. With the guy that narrated it, God, I love that guy, Mike. Yeah, I mean, somebody's gonna have to give me Mike somebody. I forgot who it was. Mike Rowe? Is that it? Yeah, Mike Rowe. Yeah. So so this guy, he does some of that type of fishing with the nets and the crabs and the ice cold weather. And I mean, it's just, he was telling me some stories about it, and I was like, man, I would just love to spend maybe a day out there, but then they'd have to helicopter me off of there. So, but I would like to see it firsthand. So I want to welcome over those people to the channel. Happy to have y'all. And of course, if y'all, the new guys out there that's just joining, if you don't know who I am, I'm Billy Davidson. I have been in business for just over 26 years doing power washing and parking lot striping. It's been a long time, been a rough road getting here. I wish I could have took some shortcuts along the way, but before the internet started, there wasn't too much knowledge out there on this industry that was available at your fingertips, if you will. So I had to kind of invent the wheel as I went along on a lot of things. Matter of fact, before I even ever saw a surface cleaner, I was trying to make one, and of course it didn't work out. I missed the boat on that one. Man, if I could have pulled it off, huh? So yeah, so some of the things that we have today, the guys that was in the industry a couple decades ago, we wish we would have had, like the X-Jet, man, 12-volt pumps, air diaphragm pumps, obviously your surface cleaners, your water brooms, your J-Rod. Oh my God, that has been a lifesaver. And you know, even a stronger sodium hypochlorite soaps and bleaches, and I mean, everything has just evolved just exponentially since when I started back in the early 90s. Trust me, the machines, the equipment that we use. I started out with a little 3,000 pound PSI, 2.5 gallon per minute, one cylinder rattle cart. And it was when people seen that machine, they thought you were doing good. So that just goes to show you. So that's who I am. If you just joining the channel, that's a little bit about me. Parking lot striping, I've been doing that for a couple decades as well. Started out with a roller tape and a roller, man, to be honest with you. That's the way we started out. My first job I did was for $3,500. And no, I'm sorry, $6,500. What am I reading it backwards here? My first job was for $6,500, and the people talked me into it, and I was didn't really want to do it, but obviously it worked out, and I was addicted to the parking lot striping after that. So a couple of things I want to mention coming up. May 10th, Mother's Day. We need to really think about all the mothers and moms out there, and the wives, for all that goes, what they have been putting up with you guys out there pressure washing, dealing with the virus, taking care of these kids that hadn't been in school for the most part. So y'all, little guys, y'all making tons of money out there. I know you are, because I hear from you. And do not just come home with a box of chocolates. Treat these ladies like they deserve to be. Hopefully the restaurants will be coming back open pretty soon. Wouldn't that be nice? I hadn't been out to eat in weeks, and of course everybody. And that used to be my thing on Friday night, payday. Oh man, that'd be my thing. I'd go sit down at a Texas Roadhouse or something like that in Longhorns. And so Mother's Day, May 10th. Let's not forget about that. with shipping and everything else going on really slow. If you're going to order something off of one of the websites, it's time to do it now because it won't be long with all the back orders. So another thing, Father's Day, June 21st. I'm going to have a pretty large giveaway around that time. I don't know if it's going to be equipment related or something else. It just depends on the economy, if it's opening things back up and everything's back up to normal. Got a couple of ideas for the giveaway for that. I actually may do something about 2 times in there. It's like some free coaching calls and something to be giveaway of value. I don't know if it's, like I said, it might be equipment related. It might be, I don't know. We'll see. It might be I had an idea about something, but I'm not gonna say it right here just in case it doesn't work out. So anyway, a couple other things before we get started on the video. I'm looking at my notes here. The 2 videos that I produced, for one for power washing that I was letting you have for $15, and the other for parking lot striping. The one for $15, we're trying to track the zip codes where they're going out, because like I said before, I didn't want several guys in a small zip code taking that video and utilizing those techniques and tactics. They would be bumping into each other, and I just know it wouldn't probably wouldn't work out. And the reason why I know this is because I actually trained a guy that was kind of near me with these tactics a couple years ago, and he promised me, he swore, Mr. Billy, I promise. And sure enough, as soon as I taught him, he disappeared, and next thing I know, he was coming around taking some of our work, which I did not appreciate it. And it's fine if it's just wide open competition. I get that, but I'll be damned if I'm going to teach him everything I know and he comes eating out of my plate. So that's why we're doing it. We're tracking the zip codes. We got for the most part, we got through it pretty good. We still taking orders for 24 hours a day. So when y'all text that email address to my phone number at the end, we'll send you a link at some point within the next few hours. So 24 hours a day, because I know everybody's in different time zones. And in the parking lot striping video, we got that out to quite a few guys. I say quite a few. I think it's been about 5 or 6, and they really liking it. I've got some positive feedback. Of course, that one's like $100. So like I said, that one ain't for everybody. $100 is a lot of money, and then it isn't a lot of money. Not in parking lot striping world. $100 is chump crumbs. I mean, it's nothing. $100. That's like 10 minutes of work in parking lot striping business. And then if you want that parking lot striping video, obviously you can text me your email address, and I'll get that link over so you can pay online. But just let me know whether you want the pressure washing one or the power washing. I mean, the power washing one or the parking lot striping. I'm a little bit tired today. So whatever one you want, they are still available. But you need to put your zip code in there. If you don't put your zip code in there, and I can't track your zip code, I got a couple ways I'm tracking zip codes now, and area codes, that sort of thing. See, the area code's a little different because you can take a phone and move, but we really want that billing zip code. And that pretty much ensures us that we're not letting 2 or 3 guys use this on top of each other, because it just ain't gonna work out. So anyway, getting back to that, also I wanted to mention that right now government procurement is coming up really strong in the month of July. So guys, if y'all are doing government procurement like we are, be sure to check your junk folders. We have been getting a lot from our state going to our junk folder, and we don't know why. So I went 2 or 3 days without having our government procurement emails pop in, and so I started checking my junk folders, and they were all there. So when I talked to the people, they said that they were having issues, and it was the federal side of it. It was doing that. They didn't know why, but so if you are doing that and you hadn't received it in a few days, check that junk folder or the trash folder, whatever's in your email server that you're using, because you could be missing out. We missed out on 2 of them. Really disappointed me. 2 of them was really local. It was some roof cleaning at 2 libraries. I mean, within 40 miles from me, and they had done open and close them, and I never seen it. And that was in the thousands of dollars. Now, say I missed out. I don't know if I would have won the contract, but I am pretty good at pricing that stuff out. So anyway, wanted to get that out of the way before the video gets too long. And oh man, I almost forgot. I got to mention this. I talked to Mr. Clark today. He won the 30-minute free conversation with me for whatever it's worth. I think I do hold a lot of information, from over the years between marketing and equipment stuff. So talked to him today. He's out in Pennsylvania. He is just getting started. He's coming out of the financial world. Well, not coming out of the financial world, but he's in the financial world, and this is going to be his side thing, and perhaps so someday maybe he can leave that behind the desk job and talk to the guy. He's really bright guy. He's really done his research, really on top of his homework. So we talked for a good while. Really enjoyed that conversation, and I look forward to him keeping in touch with me in the future. And so we're going to talk again at some point and go over some marketing things that I have discovered that are just incredible, phenomenal ways to market your power washing business or your parking lot strength business before that goes. And so we're going to be lending that out to him and see how he does with it. I feel really strong that he's going to do great out, especially out in the Pennsylvania area. So anyway, 10 things that you don't want to do at your customer's house, okay? So the 10th thing that you wouldn't want to do at your customer's house is when you first pull up and you setting up your rig, you're backing up into the driveway or what have you. If you're doing curbside, don't park on their lawn. It might seem kind of obvious, but yeah, keep your wheels on the hard surfaces, even if it's in the grass. Even if they have gravel, stay off their grass. Most of our residential customers, they are in subdivision. So if you curbside, don't jack it all up on the sidewalk. So, man, put out your safety cones and stay where you're on a hard surface. And kind of a cousin to that, don't park in the grass. Don't be walking across all their flower beds. You pulling their flowers out of the ground with your hoses. And yep, I'm guilty of it. I've done it before. In a rush, running around with a wand, and that hose gets wrapped around something, and there it goes, pulls it straight out of the ground. So that's number 10. So that we've all guilty of it. So just be mindful of it. The number 9th thing that you don't want to do at a customer's house. And guys, this goes to the guys out there. When you ring that doorbell and you let's quote unquote Mrs. Jones know that your crew's there and she answers the door, don't flirt with her. No flirting with your customers. No. And no one's ever done that on my crew, but I've seen it done before. And it's a little awkward. And, you keep it professional. And obviously, you never know when the Lord's going to bring someone into your life, but don't push the issue. So, yeah, keep it professional, and watch your language too. That kind of goes with that, with flirting. I know myself included. When I get frustrated and things are not going right, I get to that point to where I'll say things regret. So remember, sometimes them walls are thin too, so you on the outside with the machine running and all that, and you yelling back and forth, hey boy, get your butt over here, and come, somebody playing on the phone behind your back, one of your workers, and you get on to them. Remember, them walls are thin, so they kind of let you know that too. Number 8. Now, I had a guy do this on a job. He was working with us, and the sad thing about it, he was a kinfolk, like a second cousin or whatever. He found himself between a rock and a hard space, and he needed a little job. And I was very reluctant about bringing him on, but he was a good old boy, but he was just a little. He didn't have many manners, and I caught him doing this, and I said, do not, under any circumstance, look in the customer's windows. No, that's not cool. That is face plastered up in the windows and making comments on things and items that are in their house. Hey, look at that table. That's a $5,000 table. I said, no. We don't look in customers' windows. That gets a little on the creepy side. Number seventh thing that you don't want to do at your customer's house. And I didn't do this, and no one on my crew's done this, but I've seen this done by some landscapers at a customer's house while we was there washing. And again, let me say to my landscapers, I know it's a lot of y'all watching the channel, and we love y'all, but I've seen a couple of times landscapers do this, is don't take a break on their lawn furniture in the backyard and find yourself taking a nap back there. And we seen a guy, sure enough, we was back there power washing, and I don't think he was feeling that too good that day or having a hangover. He was part of another crew, and so we don't know who they really were, but there was 4 or 5 of the landscapers out there, and they were digging up flowers and cutting trees, and I mean, it was a big operation. And this dude was in this lady's hammock, passed out. I mean, hat over head. He was dead to the world. We walked past him, was like, whoa, what's that all about? So, yeah, so don't take a nap on their lawn furniture. And a cousin to that one, akin to that one, would be don't take a dip in their pool. Now, I will embarrassingly admit to I have done that. I did one time. I did have permission, though it was an old boy. He said, "Hey, y'all get hot, jump in the pool," and I did, and I enjoyed it. But you know, that's not good practice. You don't want to do that very often, and so yeah, no jump in the pool. Don't take a nap on their furniture for sure. Number 6 thing you wouldn't want to do at your customer's house is knock on their door and ask them for some food or drinks. You know, I guess unless it's an emergency situation, guys, bring your little ice chest out there and have you a few drinks or a sandwich in it. And I have seen this before with some other guys that was working on the same property. They knocked on the lady's door and asked them, did she have a couple snacks? And she did, and I thought it was a little awkward. So that would be a pretty rare one. So bring your little ice chest, get you some drinks, a couple sandwiches, and be good. So number 5 thing, this could be serious, but I found it to be funny, is don't leave their gate open. So if you go in their backyard and you're working back there, close that gate behind you, route that pressure hose under it or over it or around it some kind of way, but don't leave that gate open. Their dog gets out or something, that dog, you know how dogs are, they're gonna make a beeline for an open gate. And could you imagine having to shut down with the homeowner and chasing a dog all around the neighborhood? And so that could be a problem. Number 4 here is pretty obvious, but I've seen people do this before. You might find it funny, but I think it's kind of sad. Don't leave trash in their yard. If you bring some sandwiches with you, if you if you go get lunch and you come back and everybody taking a break, and it's easy to do. Leave a cup on the back porch or something. Maybe one of those styrofoam cups that you get from Chick-fil-A or something. Pick up your trash when you walk out. Do a little quick scan. We always do a walk around, so that's always a good thing. Just kind of tighten everything back up. And something that I always like to do if I'm moving lawn furniture and stuff, I try to get it back as close as I can, at least to where it was. Especially, y'all have all been to these people's back patios where it take you 30, 45 minutes just to move the furniture off the back. And of course, you're charging for it. But, and I've done it before where we did all that washing. I couldn't remember how I went back. So we started taking pictures. So if we got to move a bunch of lawn furniture and outdoor stuff like that, we'll take a picture of it, and then another way we know we'll have them people do stuff rearranged all kind of ways. Number 4 here, I find it kind of funny, and I guess I'm guilty of this one time. And when I got home, I realized what I'd done, and it sucked because I was tired and I was ready to get inside and take a shower. And I had to return the item that I incidentally took, and I rolled up their water hose with mine. So be mindful of that. Don't take their water hose when you leave. But we did. We rolled theirs up and mine up some kind of way. And I think what happened, we had unhooked theirs to hook ours up, and they were all the same color, and we left with it. So we ended up with some extra hose that we had to return. So that happens. Sometimes that's just an innocent mistake, but it can be avoided if, most of the time it can be avoided. Number three thing is, don't disrespect their flags. And that's kind of a serious one. So know your flag etiquette, mannerism. I'm not quite sure how to say, how to put that out there, but you know what I mean. Like if they got a flag on their house, obviously you don't want to bleach it out, and there's some rules to the flag. So some guys take that quite serious, and I don't blame them. So all the flag rules, the way it has to be handled. Kind of read up on it. If you're not familiar, you can ask the homeowner to take it down, or oftentimes we ask permission. We got permission to take the flag down. They, quite all right with it. But you don't know what that flag means to that particular person, and it might take it really serious. So I have seen it where people take the flag down and they dropping it all on the ground and all that stuff and mishandling it. So that's kind of a serious one. Number two is funny, but I guess if it wasn't so serious, it would be even more funnier. Don't, under any circumstances, show up at your customer's house intoxicated. No. You don't show up there drunk or whatever else. You are your worker, so that's on you to usually talk to them or meet up with them prior to the day starting. I do both in most cases. I'm going to meet up with them shortly after they got started. Not that I don't trust them, but I always like to visit the job site at least for a few minutes, even if I'm just passing through or headed out somewhere else, if at all possible. Obviously, you're going to talk to you guys, and if any of them got any problems like that where they showing up consistently, and they've been drinking or they've been on some type of other substance, it's up on you as the business owner, as the boss, to handle that business, whether you dismiss that person from their duties or you leave them at the shop to do some cleaning and some polishing, which is that's never fun. We call that busy work. Polish all the fittings, and if you can't see your face in it, keep polishing, that sort of thing. And I guess if it's a real serious situation, you might want to get the individual to the right place to get some help. And you, as a business owner, as a responsible person, you can look that up and make calls for that person. Because a lot of times, if someone's at the end of the rope and they showing up on a job drunk, they are at the end of the rope, and it's hard for them to help themselves. And so you, as a business owner, you can step in and at least nudge them in the right direction. And perhaps, you never know, you might can get this person back on track and be one of your best guys ever. You never know. So I've seen it happen before. So be mindful of that. No drinking on the job, too. That kind of goes with that. Absolutely. I don't care how hot it is, how hot it's not. Do not crack open a beer on those people's property. I myself don't drink, so I've never done anything like that. But, some of you workers may enjoy a cold one after work, but not during work. So remember that. Also, as far as that goes, there's actually some issues with your workers' comp if you guys are drinking on the job. So you would want to make sure you take care of that issue before you know it. So the number one, and I kind of toyed over putting this in here, but I think y'all should find it funny because I find it super hilarious. And it's happened. This is something that happens, and I'm going to give you the remedy for it after I mention what it is. So the number one thing do not do at a customer's house is, can anybody guess it? The number one, do not relieve yourself in the bushes or behind the air conditioner or any other place on a person's property. Look, these customers, a lot of these houses that we're washing are higher end homes for the most part, And even if they're not, cameras are super cheap now. I mean, you can buy a camera for $10 now. So don't do it. Don't do it. You never know when they got the little camera somewhere, and then there you are, embarrassing as it could be. Look, take it. The remedy would be is to stop what you're doing, take a walk down the street, to hang a left into the woods, and and do your business there. But I have heard of this happening. Never happened to us, thank God. So don't relieve yourself on the people's property. And at the end of the day, you are a professional and you are expert at what you're doing, and you're going to act like an expert because you're getting expert pay. And taking a tinkle on somebody's AC unit is not being a professional. So anyway, guys, I hope this was as fun for y'all as it was for me. Again, remember Mother's Day is coming up just here in the next couple weeks. Maybe you're watching this video after Mother's Day, but right now May 10th will be approaching shortly. And remember that these ladies that are putting up with us guys out there, they taking care of the kids while you at work, and the kids are not in school and all that. They deserve it, and you're making a lot of money, so treat them accordingly. And of course, like I said, Father's Day is coming up. We're gonna do something for Father's Day. So if you're not a subscriber, if you're catching this video and you're not subscribing, please do. We would appreciate the subscription that we earn. I promise you we're going to keep putting out the most content that we can come up with that our time allows, because I do stay quite busy. I know a lot of the guys also are trying to get in touch with me for just 15, 20, 30-minute phone conversation. If you are wanting to do that, send me a text message, and be honest with you, my voicemail fills up sometimes because I receive hundreds of calls each month for calls for service. So our voicemail kind of stays full. So we're trying to work on a spillover voicemail inbox. That way, seems like on these iPhones, I get about 15 of them in there, and it gets full. And sometimes that happens to me before breakfast. So we're trying to look on that. Hey, if any of you guys that might know of a program out there that I can use or buy or whatever I need to do to where it would hold 30 or 40 voicemails, let me know. So if y'all trying to get in touch with me, text message is the best way. This iPhone holds hundreds of them. Trust me, because I got a bunch of them on there now. So again, talk to Dev Clark out there in Pennsylvania. Brother, enjoyed talking to you. I'm glad that we got hooked up together and got that done. I hope it helps. And again, guys, if y'all looking for that power washing video on how to market your business right now in this weird economy for little to no cost, send me your email and let me know that you're interested in it. And of course, the parking lot striping, I know it's a lot less of y'all that's doing that just because parking lot striping is not as saturated as power washing. Let me know if you're interested in learning how to price parking lot striping jobs. And I can't stress out enough that doing the work is tough enough, but pricing it is probably 10 times tougher. And pricing these parking lots, one mistake, one way or the other, could be $500, $600, $700, $800 very easily, like I was describing to you before. So anyway, email me your, so I didn't say it again, text message me your email address if you're interested in parking lot striping. And otherwise, if you just got some general questions, if you need some help with anything, if you run into a sticky situation and you have no one else to reach out to, please feel free to call me at 985-345-0778. I am Billy Davidson, the owner of Davidson Professional Entertainment, and I'll talk to y'all soon.